everyone, welcome back to my channel and to the next in my September sorted series, and I've got something a little bit different for you today, and I hope it comes across in the way it's intended and not as a little bit random, but then a lot of things that I think and do are a little bit random, so you'll just have to roll with me on that, I'm afraid. But I was having a chat with my eldest son the other day, Dylan. He's nearly 13, and there was something on his mind, something that was bothering him, and we just sat down and had a little chat about it, and he felt much better afterwards, as you do, problem shared and all that. But it occurred to me that I don't do the same thing for myself. Very rarely will I sit down and chat with somebody about something that's on my mind just to vent, just to get it out. I'm not talking about big problems, things that you do need to sit down with your husband or partner or friend, family member, not that kind of thing, just those little niggly things that are bugging you or on your mind that are little problems that you might just ignore or not even really acknowledge that they're there. And it's that kind of thing that often sits there and you don't deal with it, and then it snowballs and becomes a bigger problem. So I was thinking, when I was putting together my list of videos for the month, that maybe it might be nice to share with you guys a problem that I currently have, or something that's currently on my mind. I would imagine a lot of you watching are mums, so might have similar problems and worries to me, or at least be able to relate to what I'm saying. So I thought it might be a nice idea for me to share with you something that's on my mind, vent, get it off my chest to you guys. You can then do the same in the comments if you want to. If there's something that's on your mind that you want to share and that you feel like other mums watching might be able to relate to or offer you advice, or just simply just to get it out, I'm going to start. So my problem at the moment, and I often feel this way at this time of year, is that I feel really stretched and like I can't give enough of myself individually to my kids. Now I have 4 children, if you're new here. I have 2 boys and 2 girls, and they range in age from 2 to almost 13, and we've just had the lovely long summer, minimal routines, just doing what we want when we want. And when September rolls around again, I find it a real shock to the system, as we all do, I'm sure, to get back into that routine. And I feel like my days have got shorter all of a sudden, and I have less time with them all and less time to spend with them one-on-one. Now I have a big thing about this, because obviously it was my decision to have 4 children. We wanted to have a big family, but there is that constant nagging mum guilt, and I was the same when I had 2 children and 3, so definitely it wasn't going to get any better with 4. But I always feel like there's only 1 of me and 4 of them, and how can I possibly split myself into all those little pieces to give them enough of my time and attention? And this time of year, when after school clubs start back and early mornings and routines come back into our lives after the summer, I feel that even more. Although it's not a massive problem, it is always on my mind, and it's something that I feel like I can address with some simple steps. So that is what I'm going to talk to you about today. That is my problem, and this is how I'm proposing to overcome it and feel a little bit better about the whole situation. So the first thing is to remind myself of the positives. I'm always so quick to focus on what I'm not doing, what I'm not doing well enough, what I can't do, where I'm falling down as a mum, but I very rarely sit and congratulate myself and give myself a pat on the back. None of us do we? But there are so many things that we do every single day that are huge positives that make us a great mum, and those things deserve our attention too, but I'm terrible for ignoring those bits and just focusing on the bad. Following on from that, another thing I want to really pay attention to is the small things that matter to them. It's so easy at the end of a school pickup, when you're trying to unpack lunch boxes and get tea on the go, get them out to after school clubs, and listen to all of them telling me something all at once. It's so easy to lose the little things in that really matter to them. To me, it might be another drawing home from school when I've already seen 6 that week, or another funny story from school, but those things to them mean everything, and to you it can sometimes feel like another voice that you just can't process in that moment. Does that make sense? And I often catch myself saying, oh, I'll look at that later, or don't tell me now, tell me in a minute. And I'm going to try and stop doing that, because those are the little moments that they will then forget to tell you, and then that's gone and you can't get that back, and you might never know what that funny story was, or might never properly look at that drawing that they were really proud of. And that's something, it makes me feel really emotional if I think about it, but those little tiny moments are what I want to try not to postpone and ask them to show me later, because in that moment they're really important and I want to make time for those. Something that I remember from my friend SJ a little while ago, she does a series on gentle parenting. I love watching those videos, and I'll leave her playlist linked for you so you can go and watch them if you haven't already. But I remember SJ talking about little things, I can't remember, there was a phrase to it, but the gist of it was, it's doing little things that make a massive difference to your kids. So for instance, her son Freddie was learning all about Vikings in school. So one day after school, as a surprise, she just had a little Viking tea party. She set the dinner table with goblets and made it look like a Viking feast. And that is something that Freddie will remember forever, and he will probably do with his kids, and it'll be a fond memory for him. So that small thing of just laying the table a certain way and thinking about what she could serve for dinner that would be a bit different that day, those little things which don't necessarily have to cost a lot or take a lot of time. I'm all about that kind of thing. I love making things magical and thoughtful for my kids, and I feel like when I had two, when it was just Dylan and Marion, I did a lot more of that for Easter and special events and things like that. But I think the things that you do out of the ordinary on just a boring Tuesday are the things that will really stick. So I haven't started doing that kind of thing yet, but I feel like it's a great idea, and it's something that I can easily work into our routine without it being really overwhelming, and I know my kids would love it, so that's something I'm definitely going to try and do more of. And the last thing that helps me when I'm feeling like there's not enough of me to go around, which I've spoken about before, is planning one-on-one time. I do one-on-one time with them every day, even if it's just 5 minutes before they go to bed and reading a story, or just a cuddle before they go to sleep. I do that day to day, but I like to plan something that they can look forward to. So a one-on-one day or evening out with me to the cinema or bowling, or their choice, they choose what they want to do. It's not something we do all the time, but it's something that I like to plan with them so they can look forward to it, and I'll take them out maybe 2-3 times a year individually, just with me, and spend that time chatting to them with no one else trying to get my attention or change the subject or ask me a question. It's just me and them, and I really look forward to it. I know they get a lot from it as well, so that's something that I will be planning to do in the next month or so. So that's what's currently on my mind, niggling away at me. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to share something that's bugging you at the moment or worrying you, or just that you feel would be good to get off your chest, then do leave a comment below, and I'm sure there'll be lots of others in the same boat as you, and we can just have a good old chat in the comments and have a little moan about the things that are currently bugging us. I know it will make me feel so much better to chat to you all, so do leave me a comment and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and you'd like to see more of this kind of thing from me. I meant to say as well, a great place to head to if you want to get something off your chest or you want to have a chat to other mums is the Channel Mum chat page. I'll leave a link to it in the comments. I posted something on there a couple of days ago about my daughter starting secondary school because I was just feeling a bit emotional about it, as you do, and I had so many lovely replies from people in the same boat or just wanting to offer their support and a hug, and it made me feel so much better just getting it out like I'm doing now. So that's another good place to head to if you've got something that's on your mind. But thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed and you'd like to stick around, then do hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.